So, in the last 25 years, I've been working with electric vehicles and trying to figure out why haven't they been able to scale. And the three challenges I've seen was the high cost of electric vehicles driven by the cost of battery, the long refueling time, 5 to 8 hours to charge a vehicle, and people's concern on range anxiety of how they could think or what concerns they would have if they had to get from point A to point B and they ran out of charge. So to address this, what we did is we said, let's separate the batteries from the vehicles, which now makes the cost of electric vehicles to be the same as internal combustion engine vehicles and the cost of energy to be equivalent or cheaper than gasoline. So created charge batteries as a service on this area. So with this, we use these smart batteries that can be interchanged and swapped out in a couple of minutes on these areas with all two-wheelers and three-wheelers, which gives consumers almost an infinite range. Swapping which just takes a minute or two and addresses the range anxiety and the long refueling time. And by separating the batteries, we get cost structures that are neutral. So Sun Mobility started with this vision around 2.5 years ago. Today, we're a little over 220 people in the company. We have technology of developing solutions for not just two and three-wheelers, but also buses across the ecosystem. We have vehicles today running with over 1 million kilometers in parts of NCR, as well as buses running in Ahmedabad in the main ring road area. Electric vehicles start to address two very important challenges for the country. One on energy security, where we import 80% of our oil, and two on the areas of pollution, where unfortunately 14 of the 20 cities in the world, most polluted cities in the world, are in India. India by 2030 is going to have over 500 gigawatts of renewable energy, which means that every vehicle, if it was electric by 2030, could be powered by the renewable energy. In fact, we need less than half of that renewable energy amount to power every single vehicle on Indian roads. So we then address both issues on pollution level as well as an energy security level. However, India is a little bit different than the rest of the world. People are focusing on cars, whereas 80% of the transportation in India is two-wheelers, three-wheelers, and buses. And so the focus in India should be on shared transportation that's electric and powering the common people of the country. As we're looking at a transition into electric mobility, it's absolutely essential we have the right capabilities. We're talking of this area where the automotive industry is 7% of our GDP, which means by 2030, we're talking electric vehicles could be over $200 billion opportunity. Energy will be another $200 billion opportunity in electric vehicles. So if you're going to create a $400 billion new business, it's going to need people with all talents, from engineering to develop new technologies, research people to look at core areas of motors, controllers, chargers, DC-DC converters, batteries on this area, ecosystem and infrastructure providers. How do we put these in? How do we replan our cities to look at it? How do we service electric vehicles and technicians who can enable that to happen? City planners who have to rethink of how we look at this. Policy making, how are you going to bring energy, mobility all together as you go through this transformation on this front? So it's going to need a complete training across the ecosystem, but it's going to be so substantial, it's going to be so transformational that we've got to put our heads together to see how we can make this happen.